Investing is a long-term journey and savings is a shorter-term journey. How much money do you actually have to play with? Don't invest what you can't afford to lose. You learn before you put money into anything. They'll tell you, oh, $7, $7, $7. For the average Nigerian, saving in dollars is actually a medium to long-term goal versus an immediate one. You don't have to do it immediately. I think it's better for you to build a pool of savings and then actively start to diversify. You can learn a lot about what you want to invest in. Is it mutual funds? Is it real estate? Is it dollars? Is it even treasury bills? When you have a pool to play with and when you have some time, we all must learn to say no. People won't always be happy with you, and you know what? That's okay. Financial boundaries are an important part of financial management. If building wealth is not immediate, and 5 years is interesting because it's brief enough to make you work faster, but it's also long enough to give you time to build up process. And you may not be earning a lot right now, but you deserve peace of mind and you deserve power over your finances. It's that simple, right? Even if it's 100 naira, put it aside. Consistency isn't showing up 100% every day. It's showing up every day, right? Some days you're 100%, some days you're 10%, some days you're only 5%. But if you give it, you've given something for that day. That's what consistency is. That's what showing up is. There is a debt vicious cycle in Nigeria right now. People are taking loans from loan apps and they're finding it difficult to pay, so they take more loans because, unfortunately, we're economically challenged, and that means that sometimes your income just doesn't go as far as it should or as far as it used to go. And then income greater than 1 million a month, but you still have your expenses. You have black tax, and you're still always stressed about money because, you know, you really overestimate what you can do with 1 million naira, and honestly. Now, if you're person A, we should talk more about it, right? Your 6 to 12 month goal should be, and this is a model of a content creator. What is your own 6 to 12 month goal, right? Write it down. What do you want to be able to do? For this person that I'm using as my example, what you should be writing down is what your own exact challenge would be. They are trying to build stability and they're trying to buy tools for a creator career. As you're starting out from school, what do you want money to do most for you? You don't have a lot of it, so you know how to prioritize, right? On your scale of preference, what comes first? What is most basic to you? What's most important? Write it down. Your pathway. We'll talk about that now. So has everyone written what their immediate goal is, their 6 to 12 month goal? If you're in the box A, have you written down what your 6 to 12 month goal is? And then your 3 to 5 year goal is a bit different. So now let's use this person as an example. And I assume that everyone who's in box A is, you know, you're just starting out less than 100K, maybe 150K. You want to put some money aside for something. Right, but you don't have a lot to play with. So what you should be thinking about is, how do I show up consistently? What should be my small but achievable goal? When we're all growing up, so like I know you would have learned about something called SMART, where you keep your goals smart. You keep it measurable, you keep it achievable, right? Simple, right? Realistic, time-bound, right? So now we're talking about 6 to 12 months. What can you realistically do in that time that you give yourself? I'd say that healthy savings for you should be about 10K a month. In my first session, someone said they were, or is the second one, someone said they were putting aside 40% of their 10K. That's unsustainable, right? So, have you heard of the 50-30-20 principle? Your savings from 100K or 150K should hover around 20. If you're like really good with money, maybe 30%, but probably around that. If not, you'd tend to go into over-saving, and that means that you're going to have to withdraw from your savings. Never a good thing. So if you start at 10K a month, right, and then you have to write down your expenses. People think that like it's very cliche when we say budget, 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 but you need to write down exactly what you need to be spending on every month. Again, smaller pool to play with, so that means you have to be really strict with what you're spending on. Food is essential, you know, like your transport is essential, but you know what's not essential. If you're watching movies every Friday, I used to do that, by the way, and I used to end up on 31st of every month with 0 naira because I had to go to the cinema every Friday. But you know what you really don't have to, and also the movies are not that good. Reduce your running costs to the lowest possible level, right? If you're doing too much, and you know what, like, because you're the one with the problem, you know when you're doing too much. Reduce them to the lowest possible level. What kind of enjoyment can you get along with? It's not like I'm saying don't do fun stuff. It's saying you can do the barest minimum fun stuff when you are in the building phase. Your early 20s are the best time to make those sacrifices. Trust me. You don't want to be 35 and then telling yourself you're managing going to the movies. It's a good place to start, but if you could have done something about it in your early 20s, then absolutely, please do it. Right? Life is not always easy, but when you can, make those sacrifices. And then 80K emergency funds in 6 to 8 months. That is from your 10K a month that you're putting aside. If you're building it up consistently, then you're able to get to that amount. Now you have a slightly larger pool put aside for emergencies. Again, the goal here is to start somewhere, right? Learn your content skills if you're a content creator. If you're a fashion designer, you've invested in social media, you started to do like some paid ads, and then find a 50 to 100K income boost from freelancing or getting a job or making sales, right? Depending on where you're starting, again, this is very unique to your experience. And then your 3 to 5 year goal should look something like this: staying out of debt, growing your monthly savings, avoiding lifestyle inflation. We walked into a session where someone said, oh, that they got their first million and they were just senseless, right? I think it was Godwin that was saying, and that happens because, you know, you're used to 20K and now someone's dropped times, I don't know, 500 or 50 of that on you. You immediately start to pay it down and spend it anyhow until it's coming back down to the amount you're used to. Bad idea. When you get bulk sums like that, you need to be able to immediately move it to your savings account. But the only way to do that is if you've built the savings muscle, right? And by building the savings muscle, it's where you're coming from here, 10K per month. So avoiding lifestyle inflation, monetize some of your content if you're a content creator. If you're not, monetize the business that you're trying to start or get off the ground. Diversify your income streams. Again, this shouldn't really be, you know, a thing, but we're here in Nigeria and we've all learned, whether it's the simple or the hard way, that one source of income is a bit of a scam in this country. So if you can get one more, why not? And then build long-term savings and investments. So you can see that 6 to 12 months is a bit easier. 3 to 5 years is building on the habits that you would have had from keeping consistent for 6 to 12 months. And so if you're in box B, yours looks something like this. You're trying to, your immediate goal is like, you know, be a bit more comfortable with the window that you've gotten to. And then 3 to 5 years, become someone who lives below their income. When you live below your income is when you can have savings, and who just moves around financially with clarity, options, and calm. Getting optionality is the goal for the average. The Nigerian dream is really to not worry when you have to buy something or when you have to pay for something. You know, when we used to pitch Piggyvest in 2016, I tell them that the reason why our platform is important is because the average Nigerian, we have to pay in bulk, in cash, and upfront. And because of that, saving is essential at whatever level of life that you're in. Unfortunately, no one's asking us to go to school and take a loan. We have to pay school fees well ahead before you even step into school. We've seen cases where they'll tell your kid to step right out. You've not paid your fees. Kick them out at the gate. So cash, bulk, upfront is our thing. And that means saving remains like the best way for you to get those options and keep them for yourself. All right, so pathway is looking like this. Again, you'll see that your 5-year goal here, your 3 to 5 year goal here builds upon the muscle that you would have had to train here. If you have a bit more money, then you begin to have a bit more option like automating your savings. If you're at 100K, it's kind of hard, but you can still do it if you're doing like a really small amount every day or every week. At 400 to 600K, you can do that, right? Automate your savings so you're building the habit, use the 3-account method. Say no to sub-life pressure. Again, this is a social media ball. Don't fall into it. There is a process. There is always a process. And you can't leapfrog the process, no matter what. You will have to go through it, right? And then build your emergency funds. It can look like 500K for you. It can look like 550K for some. It can look like $1 million. Most people know exactly what needs to be done for them to move from point A to point B financially and learn to negotiate or increase income. This one I actually like. All of the content on the internet is there to help you like figure out how to negotiate and put your best foot forward at your job or at your business. And finally, for my box C people, it's a bit different. You know, you're doing cash flow audits at this point, you're creating spending cap, you're locking liquidity, splitting your income on arrival, and again, you see that progress comes with like more income and optionality comes with more income. Your 3 to 5 year goal is building upon those things, so actively invest. You see actively invest now because again, we now have savings. And for me, investment is important, but what's more important than investing is building a very solid savings foundation. I always tell people, like, you want to diversify your savings, you want to diversify your investments, but the investments and compounding interest is best with a pool of funds, not when you're just starting out. So when you go, you have to set your own goals by yourself, where I want to have this amount of money, and then I want to be able to invest in these instruments. You'll be like a hamster on a wheel if you tell yourself, okay, I'm starting my savings journey today, and I'm immediately putting it into stocks, or I'm immediately investing it into dollars, or I'm immediately investing it into mutual funds. And here's why. The less talked about downside of investing in like Forex, for instance, is that there's always arbitrage. So an example, you earn XYZ a month, you're buying dollars immediately, because they said the naira is bad, but your expenses are in naira, and you need to pay rent. So you've taken 100K out of your money today, out of your 150K, and you've gone and bought dollars. But now, and you bought it at a higher price, because that always happens. But now you have to pay for something. So you go to your dollar pool and you sell down your dollar to pay for that thing. See, what happens more often than not when the time is too close together is that you lose money because we have an arbitrage. Unfortunately, you have to sell lower. And unless time has passed where the naira has been able to significantly devalue, significantly devalue, you lose money almost immediately by doing nothing, just by changing money back and forth. And so I always tell people that, people tell you, oh, saving dollars, saving dollars, saving dollars. For the average Nigerian, saving in dollars is actually a medium to long-term goal versus an immediate one. You don't have to do it immediately. I think it's better for you to build a pool of savings and then actively start to diversify. You can learn a lot about what you want to invest in. Is it mutual funds? Is it real estate? Is it dollars? Is it even treasury bills? When you have a pool to play with and when you have some time, right? If you're able to put your money in dollars for at least 6 months, that's when you see the gains, because the gains in investing don't come immediately. Investing is a long-term journey and savings is a shorter-term journey. And again, the optionality comes with volume. How much money do you actually have to play with? So now, monitoring. If you're starting at the roots, you're building habits. If you're like here, so your income, right, is the seed that you plant. And then the roots are the habits that you have on your fund, on your pool of funds. What kind of habits are you building when you receive your income? And then that goes to the stem, which is stability, which again comes from habits. And then you go to branches, right? Investments. After you've built habits and you're a stable pool of savings, you go to the branches, which are your investments, and then the fruits, soft life. I did not make this part. I don't know what soft life is as a fruit, but comfort, right? And so now we go to where you are, and that's where this shit comes in. At seed and income stage, you're developing a skill that lets you charge for something. You're developing a skill that allows you to build that income, to begin to get more money. You're starting where you are, part-time job, freelancing, side hustle, running a business, so many things that you can do to begin to just put that pool together. Roots are your habits, tracking your spending weekly, budgeting, saving before you spend, using Piggyvest, avoiding impulse buys, things like that. And then STEM, stability, is building an emergency fund, now getting health insurance, pension, and other financial safety nets in place. If you have a job, they should be providing that, by the way. And then start paying off your debt one step at a time, saving consistently, no matter how small the amount. And branches are investments, simple investments, mutual funds, dollar savings, fixed income, real estate, and making sure that you learn before you put money into anything. Even if it's YouTube, grow slowly and steadily, and don't invest what you can't afford to lose. This is particularly applying to real estate and to stock investments. And everybody's like, oh, stocks. But there is a lot of education that goes into picking what you put your money into. And one day, a publicly traded company could, it doesn't really happen all the time, but they could go to zero. And then what happens? Right? So those are things that you need to learn and build the muscle for before you put money aside. Fruits. I really hate this phrase. Comfort. Define what is comfort for you. Is it ease? Is it joy? Is it freedom? Is it optionality? Is it calm? Is it being able to pay your black tax comfortably? Those are anything, right? And optimize for that. Give to others if and when you can. Right? One of the questions that Abike and I got in our first session was someone saying they started doing better and their friends started to volunteer them for tasks and expenses that they didn't want. We all must learn to say no. People won't always be happy with you, and you know what? That's okay. Financial boundaries are an important part of financial management. If you don't say no, right, you may not even be the one wasting your money, someone else will. And the end goal is that the money still finishes. So, say no sometimes, right? Tell people off nicely, like, I just can't afford this right now. And you know what's also important? Telling yourself no. Because sometimes you also want something, but you know you can afford it, and stretching to get it is not always the best thing. Travel, get new degrees, dream bigger, and enjoy your money with intention. Right? Those are the goals that we all are working towards. I started this by saying that one of the things that we all have in common, whatever stage you are, is you want your money to last just a little bit longer. Everyone, no matter how much you earn, that's the goal. Because if we even actually zoomed out and looked at what has become of the middle class in Nigeria, you realize that over the past, 5, 6, 7 years, your problems are just like it's like a snowball, right? Increasing with everything else. With every negative policy, every negative development, your needs increase. And your income really isn't, because we're all stuck like hamsters on wheels in that vicious cycle of wanting it to just be more. You as an employer who's paying someone, your profits are remaining largely the same, but your expenses are increasing. So you pay them, but they need more because their expenses are increasing too. So everyone's working towards these fruits. Where are you financially? Where are you currently sitting? Is it comfortable? Do you need to save a bit more? Now we move on to your money tree position. Where are you on the money tree right now? Now looking at the money scenario you've written down and your position on the money tree, what should you be prioritizing? What do you think you should be prioritizing right now? And again, this is going back to your own scale of preference of needs in your life. What's number one? Right? What should you be prioritizing? What is the one thing that you can optimize and make better that makes you feel better financially, that puts you in a better financial position? And now, again, reflecting on the 3 things that you've just done, you know your money scenario, you know the position that you're in, you've also written what you should prioritize. What is one money mindset shift that you want to implement? Is it small savings? Is it automating your savings? What could it be? Does anybody want to walk me through their own at the end of it? Okay. So we have people writing. What is one money mindset shift that you want to implement? What is one thing that you could do financially to take you from point A to point B? From seed, perhaps, to roots? So if you've completed that first page, what you've just done is kind of written your first, your 6 to 12 months. What do you want it to look like? And now we move on to your 2030 goal. So we've written what you can do immediately as a habit builder, really. So what should your 2030 goal financially be? What do you want it to be? And you can start with, by 2030, I will. So that kind of informs what you're thinking. What can any of the things you've written in your first page lead to for you in 5 years? Is it you want to be earning 10x your income in 2030? You want to have 5x your savings? You want to be completely out of debt? It could be any of those things, right? Is it the kind of lifestyle you're living? Is it just I just want peace of mind? I don't want to ask for prices at the supermarket. And basically, what stage of the money tree do you want to be at in 5 years? I know the answer is the same for all of us, but yeah, write it down. And then the next thing that we do is what is now, we're coming back to Naira life, right? We're at this conference, we're doing this. What is the one thing that you'll do today, really? This is before the month ends, but why wait? Today, to start moving towards that 2030 goal. And feel free, again, to start small. Is it that you start putting aside 10,000 Naira every month, 5,000 Naira every month? What would it be? Start applying to more freelancing jobs. Just write one thing down that you think would move you closer to what your 2030 should look like. And the next 2 boxes require a lot of thinking for you and reflection, right? What is your 6 to 12 month commitment? And what is your 3 to 5 year commitment? Right? What's the one decision or habit that you stick to over the next 6 to 12 months? So a very measurable, achievable goal for the next 1 year. What is it? Is it, I want to have X thousand Naira, X million Naira in my emergency fund? I want to pay off X amount in my loans? I want to track my expenses monthly, all of them for the next 12 months. And again, you know, the only person that can keep you accountable the most is you. So write something that you can do, something smart, right? Something that is, we're already setting a time limit on it, 6 to 12 months, that will help you build a healthier habit, build that muscle. And then right after that is your 3 to 5 year commitment. The longer term decision that you're making that will help you change your financial situation, which is something like build an investment portfolio, have X in dollar investments. You know, you can set a monetary goal. When you look at things, and you know, people do vision boarding, and it's a very interesting thing because people don't think it works, but it does. Like visualizing, writing things down are actually small but really cool ways to change your psychology about how you look at what you want your future to be. So maybe you don't want to gather in a group and drink champagne and do vision boarding, but you can write on a paper that you keep for yourself. Start funding my retirement, right? Buy land. Even if it's just like save to relocate to the UK, because now you can no longer do it immediately. It's very expensive because a pound is 2,200. So what does that look like? Now, who wants to be my volunteer? Who wants to walk us through what they've thought about? Okay, we have one girl and one boy.
Hi, I'm Excel. Hi. My money scenario, box A, I pitch to like publications I think are interesting, and that's very sporadic. So I earn like usually 100, 200 randomly. I never tell when that's coming in. Then I tutor a child in math, and that's like $60 a month. I have a loan from the federal government, NEL Fund. I think most of you know about NEL Fund. And I save whenever money enters my account. What stresses me financially is just basic necessities. As a uni student, it's just getting food, being able to afford food. That's literally it. That's literally it. I can't lie. My money tree position is roots, habits, like income sporadic and here and there. I have the habits. I don't think I can't say I'm stable. So I'm like right somewhere in the middle. Right now, I'm prioritizing trying to earn money, pitch more often, and also like certify, like get certifications for tutoring, so I can actually apply to like tutoring sites and other things. Automating my savings and another thing. I don't automate it. I know I'm going to do it, but then I procrastinate because I have other things to do. I end up not doing it. I end up spending to my savings. It's a terrible situation. Well, I'm tracking my expenses. I started back in 100 level like 2 years ago, and then I stopped doing it. And that's probably like my biggest mistake ever. So I'm going to get back into doing that. One money mindset shift I want to implement is to save half of my tutoring money, because I just sits in an account and I haven't actually like saved anything from it. I've been spending from it though, but I haven't saved from it yet. 2030 goal, it should be 26 by then. I'll have my own place. I'll be self-sufficient, hopefully be a PhD student in an affirming country. I'll be able to actually get groceries and eat healthily and pay my bills on time. Just really basic stuff, the bare minimum. My immediate step right now is saving after my dollar income, so I don't accidentally eat into everything and then have nothing else to save. My 6 to 12 month commitment, so that's like by this time next year, I want to have the money for NEL Fund sitting in an account somewhere. I know they said I'll take it out of like your like when you get a job with somebody, they'll take it from your employer, but I want to have it like aside. I don't want them to take it from my employer. Then 3 to 5 years commitment is definitely an investment portfolio. Like it's just nice to have money working for me randomly, like in different places. So that's my money tree.
Hi everyone, my name is Tobalashe. I just need to know if I'm the only one that is very cold. Gee. Alright then, my money scenario, I'm more of a place B, mostly because I don't have so many expenses and my income kind of covers it to that extent. I don't have any current debt and immediate need new phone. New phone, yes. On the money tree, I'm on habits. I have, I think, roughly 3 different things that pay me, and I save. I don't usually need it to save me, but I still blow whatever it is I have left. So what I'm prioritizing is my habits, which is spending less, and then my income second, because with the entire side hustle culture, I now do so many things that I don't have time for, even just myself in general. Mindset shift is live below my means generally. By 2030, I'm looking at a 5M emergency fund, which is going to be different from just general savings and general day-to-day expenses. Then I'm looking at growing my income to about $1 million per month and a car, and I want to be at branches, investment. So I already invest, even though I won't say I'm so stable, but I'm able to save, give or take maybe about 100 a month. So I now usually pour all of that into investment and then start again, taking myself back to point zero. So it's like, as much as there's something somewhere, I'm constantly money, and I think it's not so healthy for me because it stresses me out really. And so budgeting, I don't budget. I track my expenses, but I don't budget. So I'm looking at budgeting. That's the immediate step I'm looking to start. 6 to 12 month commitment is budgeting and following it on a 500K emergency fund. So I save, but usually when I save is maybe to invest or to buy something. So there's usually no emergency fund, usually. Then 3 to 5 years commitment is to build an investment portfolio. I have a couple of things in investment. I have a couple hundred in stocks. So I'm just trying to do it where I can comfortably do it, not that it's stressing me out because, okay, it's there, and I would survive the month, but go essentially. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you guys so much. So is there anyone in box C, for instance, who wants to walk us through their journey? People that have money are always hiding. Okay. Thank you, Excel, and thank you. Sorry, what's your name? Toba. Thank you, Toba. Now moving on, does anyone have any questions?
Hi everyone, my name is Fatai. And yes, I'm feeling cool, so my voice might be shaking at some point. So I have a question. I'm in a dilemma right now. I'm currently serving, and I happen to work in a very good PP. I'm moving from home, so no transport, no feeding, no accommodation expenses, just the money. And then my dad is like, okay, fine, now you should start a cooperative. So I understand Piggyvest has something of savings, and I'm in a dilemma of having to choose between Piggyvest and cooperative. So can you just help me understand? Of course, I knew you were going to say Piggyvest, but just help me understand. just help me understand why Piggyvest. Exactly.
To be clear, a cooperative is the one where you all put money in a pool, and then you take everyone's money, and then you take everyone's money. Let me tell you what happened to my mom. So, when I was growing up, my mom used to do cooperatives for our fees, right? And then, you pick like a position. And I'm not even trying to be, I'm trying to be tragic. I'm trying to discourage you from the cooperative, but this is real. The person that picked just before her took everyone's money. And she relocated. She actually left the country. And that was that. So, I'm not saying that will happen to you. It could though. But the difference between that and Piggyvest is just like the control, like of your money, right? I don't know what your immediate goals are, but I imagine you'd want to put, how much are they paying NYS, They actually did that. Oh, lovely. Yay for, okay, so 77. So let's say you're able to put aside 50K. How many people will be in a cooperative? Let's assume 10. I don't know what your immediate goals are. Do you have 500K monthly needs? Like if something you want to use 500K to do right now. You want to change your laptop. I mean, good. But if you put 50K aside over the next few months and you have like a laptop goal in mind and you're putting it on Piggyvest and you're earning interest of, I don't know, anywhere from 15 to 20 something percent, do you not feel like that puts like all of the control over your funds in your own hands? For me, I find that every time my money is in someone's hands, even as a loan, like they're just a part of your head that's there. And this time around is every month you put something in and someone just goes off with all your money. At Piggyvest, you can do target with people for accountability, but your money remains in your hand. The returns come all to you, and the control of your money, you get to decide, and you get to set those rules. And you know what, you could decide at some point, I don't want to change my laptop yet, I want to pay for something else. That decision still it still lies with you. Not to mention, we actually cannot go anywhere with your money on account of the government. So, like, even if we wanted to, but we've existed for 10 years now, and a lot of people have gone on to do excellent things with the money that they put on the platform. Bought their first car, their education, got their laptops, gotten married, relocated to the UK, and continued saving. Just do so much with your own money, have so much freedom with your money, and yet the control remains with you. So, yeah. If you're saving and you have to go back to your savings to withdraw to meet like daily needs, then you're oversaving. But if you just think it's too much money aside, I don't think you're oversaving. I think what you're weary about might just be, how is this money working for me? And I recommend this to everyone. So I think the first thing is to go to like YouTube is the first thing. Where do I put my money, even in Nigeria? There's a lot of content from content creators around that. But I think you could start with fixed income investment, which is the easiest kind of investment for a new investor. Treasury bills or the safe lock. They work exactly the same way. You put in an amount of money, it's locked until an end period, and you get your interest, and then you can continue on and on like that. You can do that in Naira, and you can do it in dollars. It's called the Eurobonds, and that feature is also coming as well. And just make sure, the best thing to make sure of is that wherever your money is sitting is giving you above average returns. High yield savings accounts are not investment accounts. So, for instance, do you know what your high yield saving account is giving you? 17% is actually pretty good. That means that like you're getting above average, but treasury bills can probably give you up to 20%. And dollar investments will give you anywhere from 6 to 9%, depending on tenor that you're doing. So start there. Mutual funds are returning anywhere from 20 to 22% right now. But the thing about all of these things, knowledge is power, right? So if you're not reading and researching about it, then you're not knowing. And while I really, really love the drive for mentorship, I also think that this is something that you can just start by yourself. Right? Like I've just given you a bunch of things that are currently ongoing right now, but the best thing to do is just read about them. Start from Piggyvest. The website outlines all of the returns that are on every product. If you look at your pool of funds today, right, and you're not having to withdraw from your savings at all to meet your daily needs, you can probably afford to increase the things that you enjoy by a bit. And the reason why that's encouraged is because if you save everything, after a while you just get tired and lifestyle inflation creeps up on you because you're just like, oh, I could have done this thing, and then you go all the way versus just doing it incrementally. Like, were you buying your shoes for what, 3K? Can you afford to go to 4K without it being uncomfortable? 5K maybe? But the key to all of these things, everything is done in moderation and you find balance, right? So the self-awareness that you have right now, even when you decide to upgrade, don't lose it. And if you do, pull yourself back. But finances are very personal, so you can assess, and we can give you all of the advice in the world, but it's only you who can tell yourself, okay, I can spend a bit more up until this level, and I must stop here.